Please watch your step. Also watch going down the stairs. We are in a boat, it's a little rocky, so just watch that too. So we are now approaching the aerial lift bridge. This bridge was built in 1905 and it was rebuilt 24 years later in 1929. That's to our upper left over here. And so you can see there's a little house in the middle of the lifting span, and that is where the bridge tender lives. So there are two bridge tenders. They each work 12-hour shifts. 24-hour coverage for all of the shipping season. So I actually got to interview with one of the bridge tenders, and I asked him, how do you like your job? And he said, well, it has its ups and downs. So there's going to be some pretty bad jokes on the boat today, and I hope you guys are prepared for them. Just tell me if it gets a little too much.
There's another.
So you'll see the bridge is only lifting halfway. So the reason why is because we are a smaller vessel than some of these 1,000-foot ships that pass through. They don't need to lift all the way.
That's
so
the lighthouse.
Halfway for us. It does have a ship clearance of 123 feet, but it will raise for anything taller than 14 feet. So as we're passing through under the bridge, you may notice that there's cars that are starting to pile up to the left and right. So that is a term us Duluthians like to call getting bridged. It's a great excuse if you guys are running late. You can be like, please, sorry, I'll be like 10, 15 minutes late, I got bridged. I use it all the time going to work, even though I live nowhere near the bridge.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's windy. Another boat's coming out! Oh no! This is cold. Oh shit.
We're doing good?
Yeah!
Anyone have any questions so far? Are you curious about anything?
Lighthouse! Lighthouse!
We're now passing through the Duluth shipping canal. This is one of the two entries to the harbor. So this is a man-made entry. There's also a natural entry. If you look to the right now, there's about 6 miles of sandy beaches. So this beaches, it's called Minnesota Point. Locally, though, it is called Park.
Look at all those seagulls.
It's a popular destination for swimming.
Whoa, look at that boat. Yes!
Is it too cold?
Yeah!
So at the end of that 6 miles, you'll see there's kind of like a white dot. That is the Superior Entry, which is an all-natural entry. So especially in high winds or a storm, a lot of boats will pass through the Superior Entry instead of having to maneuver their way through a bridge and piers. Speaking of piers, you guys can see to your left and right here, there's kind of these long piers that people are walking out on. So these piers were first made out of timber and stone, but you can only imagine what happens when wood is sitting in the water for a long time. Remade by the, I believe it was one of the Army Corps actually rebuilt these piers. And so they are now encased with concrete and steel pilings that you can see at the water line. So I see a guy waving over there, and so if you guys want to give him a big old wave for me, go ahead. But I wouldn't want to pressure you guys, because that would be peer pressure. We just ask that you politely peer back at them.
Hi! Hi! That's the lighthouse. Or that. I'm making a video.
I'm coming up with you.
Whoa, what is that? Switch? Is it warmer down there?
Yeah. So I had a really good question from this young lady over here. Does Lake Superior have
It's not.
Yes, they do. We have a lot of fish. We have fish including walleye. Do you have any fishermen up here? Yeah, fisherwomen, I should say too. Oh,
Excuse me, Devin.
All right, we have walleye. You do? How big was the fish that you caught?
I can see.
This is warm.
Oh,
It's warmer down there.
Well, we have walleye, we have sturgeon, we have lake trout here, we have salmon, rainbow salmon, rainbow trout. How many people want to Here, here.
What if you did though? No!
Off the end of the boat here.
No! I want to.
You guys can see up ahead of us to our upper left. We're gonna go past it, but it's kind of like a brown structure that's sticking up out of the water. It's called Uncle Harvey's Mausoleum. It was dedicated in 1919 by a man named Harvey Whitney, who was the head of a local construction company. And back then, about 35 to 40 ships would pass through Duluth shipping canal each day. So barges, wanting to avoid the congestion, would come to his dock to unload. Unfortunately, there was a plan to build a giant water break here. That didn't happen, so his dock sat unprotected, and after only 3 years of operation, it had to close down. It's still really popular here in Duluth. It's used as a diving platform for those brave enough to swim out and dive off the top of it. I don't know, do we have any people on third deck that do it?
No!
You guys would? What if I told you that Lake Superior has an average surface temperature of 39 degrees? You still do it? You don't care about hypothermia?
I care. I care. I don't want to. It's freezing.
I don't care.
Is that a? I'll jump off. You're gonna get freezing. Okay, it's gonna be like a freeze. Freezing. It'll be a popsicle. Colder than a popsicle.
Devin, it's under there. Devin, switch. No. I accidentally deleted the video.
I'm going back inside.
Inside?
Yeah, inside. Inside. I'm going in.
I'm not going inside. Oh my god.
Aren't you free? Are you glad I gave you your jacket? Hi, people.
So you guys can see up ahead of us to our upper left, there's kind of a blue mural that is along the lake shore. So it may not look like it, but Interstate I-35 actually runs along the lake shore. It was first planned as a 4-story tall freeway, but that would have blocked Duluth from its scenic views and been vulnerable to freezing waves. So they decided to route it through a series of tunnels. So this mural reads left to right. The left depicts the old shipping history, whereas the right depicts the new shipping history. And if you wanted to look at it from, on land, you wouldn't really get a good view of it. So it wasn't meant for people on land to see. It was meant for the ships that are coming into our harbor, kind of a welcoming banner saying, hey, welcome to Duluth. So a question, is this the biggest lake in the USA? And it is the biggest lake in the USA. So this is the largest lake by surface area. It's about 360 miles long and 160 miles wide, which is about the same as the state of South Carolina or Indiana. There's only 2 lakes that are bigger than ours. I'm not sure where they are, but it's like Lake Baikal, and there's another lake in Russia over there. But this is a pretty big lake.
Yeah.
You guys can see to your left, there's kind of a white dome. That is the Vietnam Memorial. So the Vietnam Memorial features the 5 emblems of the armed services and has the names of 136 men from the area that did not return from war. Do we have any beer drinkers on board? Beer drinkers? Okay, if you guys look beer for the kids though. If you guys look to your left, you guys will see there's a tall smokestack with a red water tower. That signifies Vickers. Vickers brewed Vickers' famous beer for almost a century, except for during Prohibition when it bottled soft drinks and candy to stay in business, or at least that's what they told the government. So Vickers had to close down to make way for that 4-story tall freeway, but when it was routed through a series of tunnels, this building was spared. So it was renovated and reopened as a shopping and dining complex, which features a luxury hotel, restaurants, pubs, and it brews Vickers' famous beer again, but this time in microbrewery form. So if you guys wanted to check out some locally made beer, I would recommend Vickers to you guys. Do you have any ice cream lovers on board? there. That's a different demographic. You guys can look to your left here. You'll see there's a blue staircase. And to the right of that, there's a tan and kind of brown building. Yeah, that is an ice cream shop. It's called the Portland Mall Shop, and it used to be an old gas station, but they converted it into an ice cream shop. You order from the outside, and you can walk down that blue staircase and walk along the lake walk. If you wanted to check that out.
What? There's them up there. That's nothing.
How do you get up?
Quick.
They won't let anybody else.
Sour apple. Really, people? What's his name?
For that cool thing.
Kyle?
Come on, bud.
Got $30. We're getting
You guys can see to your left there's kind of like a castle-like structure that's sticking up out of the greenery. That is called Leif Erikson Park. Leif Erikson Park was named after a famous Viking explorer who sailed here from Norway. Every Friday night they have movies in the park here. I'm not sure when it's going to start, but you guys can go and watch a movie out on the greenery. Up ahead, you guys will see there's kind of a stone building, or stone retaining wall, and that is called the Rose Garden. It features thousands of flowers in the summertime. It also has a white gazebo for summer wedding services. And behind that, we have one of the most famous landmarks here in Duluth, the local Super One.
Wait, is it the aerial bridge?
I would think so.
Ashton, where'd you get that?
The Edgewater
There's
is
a
over
gift
there.
shop downstairs, but my dad won't let me.
The grocery store.
It's not gift shop. Where? It's a candy shop.
Like with the number one on there.
Keepsake. Who's in the
Actually, not that one.
The grocery store is Super One.
I don't see that tile either.
It's a red circle with a yellow one in it.
That's it, huh?
Roll one of these. I'm gonna start.
Now I have to throw it away.
Who thinks they have a good pirate impression here on second deck? Ooh, there's some good pirate impressions. What do you guys?
$50.
No, you got a good one?
Hey, Hardy.
You got a good one?
What the heck? It's glitching. I have a really good one. I'm not even
Do you think there's pirates on Lake Superior? You got a good one? Let me hear it. Do you want to do it in the microphone? No? Just give it a little R. That was a good one. That shiver me timbers. So we're heading towards the open waters of Lake Superior. So by some facts. So Lake Superior has an average depth of 489 feet, and it has a maximum depth of 1,332 feet, which means that if you stole the Empire State Building and put it at the deepest part of Lake Superior, it would still be 8 stories underwater. Lake Superior, as I said, has an average surface temperature of 39 degrees Fahrenheit. It also is one of the dangerous lakes here. So over 350 shipwrecks lie at the bottom of Lake Superior. One of the most famous ones is the Edmund Fitzgerald. Has anyone on first deck heard the story of the Edmund Fitzgerald? Yeah? You heard the song, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald? So I think this gentleman volunteered to sing it for us. I don't know about you guys. No, but I will